Hi, it's me, Pam. Today, I want to talk about something really important. What should people actually see in us as Christ followers that looks different from everyone else? In other words, are there certain behaviors or attitudes that shout Christ follower, even with us even saying a word? The answer is yes, there are. And they're not about being perfect. They're about living differently because Jesus lives in us. A while back, I steered clear of anyone who claimed to be a Christian, even anyone who said they went to church because of how they acted. As a teen, I had spent the night with a friend and ended up having to go to church with them the next morning. As everyone had their hymnals in front of their faces singing, I just looked around. What I saw convinced me this religion stuff was fake because of who it was they're singing. Adults I knew who lied and were mean to people, they didn't even try to hide it outside of church, that is. And here's the truth: Christianity isn't just about what we say we believe, it's about what people see in us. Do they see forgiveness even when we're hurt? Do they see humility instead of arrogance? Do they see generosity when everyone else is holding back? Sometimes the loudest testimony isn't with our lips, but with our lives. There's a guy I know who works in construction. It's a rough environment, lots of cussing, gossiping, cutting corners, but he decided to live differently. When mistakes happened, instead of pointing fingers, he owned his part. When others complained, he stayed positive. When payday came, he'd sometimes buy a lunch for a coworker who was struggling. Eventually, one of his buddies pulled him aside and said, "Man, you're not like the rest of us. What's different about you?" That opened the door to talk about Jesus, not because he preached, but because of how he lived. So, what should people see in us? Well, not just loving people who love us back, but showing kindness to people who don't deserve it. How about when everyone else is panicking? We can claim that the calm we have is because we trust God. Also, doing the right thing when no one else is watching. These aren't things you can fake for long. They flow naturally when Jesus is truly at the center of your life. So here's the big question. If someone followed you around for a week, would they know you're a Christ follower without you ever telling them? That's what Jesus calls us to, not perfection, but a life that reflects him in everyday choices, whether it's patience in the checkout line, honesty at work, or showing love to difficult people. If this encouraged you, be sure to share this with a friend. And in the comments, share what's one way you try to live differently because of your relationship with Jesus. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, bye.